Oh, yes, I just did it, Patrick. I just did it.
We did it.
I did it, and you can see what it means on your side of the screen. How exciting is this? Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fourth Monday in December. This is Christmas Eve, and this is a normal little get-together here for me and Patrick, the trusty huckster. But Patrick, I have to tell you, we may have some new faces tonight. And so I'd like you to give you a chance to introduce yourself. I have one of the videos this month did really well, and it pulled in like 800 new subscribers. I was really shocked, just completely shocked. Now, that doesn't mean all 800 of them are watching tonight, but there are new folks out there, and they may be wondering, who is that? Who is that?
Everyone wonders who I am.
Well, who is you? Who you is?
So I am the Trusty Huckster Mercantile, aka Patrick. And I think we determined we've been doing this for about a year now, where I get to be a guest spot on your channel. For those who have watched my channel before or have watched our shows before, I am in new digs, or just a different digs. My kitchen is in the process of being remodeled, and I cannot sit in front of my beautiful tiger oak piano and my stoneware collection. So instead, I'm in my game room. So you get to see my vintage game boards behind me. And fair warning to everyone, I do appear to be having some internet connectivity problems because I'm in a different part of the house. So if there are a couple of delays, there may be some longer delays between Scott and I talking and in the runs. So if you see a couple stutter steps, I apologize for that. Not my best work tonight, but I think we're going to be able to be okay, and we will work our way through.
Yeah.
Welcome to anyone new.
Yes, welcome. And so I'll try to be cognizant that there might be like a little 4 seconds between the two of us as to try to not interrupt. But hey, it'll just be like back in the 1980s when the foreign correspondents were over in, I don't know, Beirut or something. And Dan Rather asked them a question, and then it was like, yes, the weather here. Yes, it'll be like that.
Yeah, just a little bit. So you've got a beautiful tree behind you tonight, Scott.
Well, thank you. It's it's back there.
Looking at the lovely vintage ornaments you've got on there, some indents.
Yeah,
nice glass, German.
Yeah, I've got some mostly. Well, it'll range from the 20s into the 1950s. Is what's back here on this tree. Do you decorate with a tree, Patrick? Do you do a tree?
I did, but because of redoing my kitchen, I couldn't do as much as I normally do, and I'm regretting having the tree up. I did one tree, put some ornaments on it just because I like Christmas, and currently they're all covered in sawdust and construction debris and everything. So the cleanup process will not be fun. Putting those items away. So it looks like my tree is from a war-torn country. But hey, I still get to enjoy it. I get to put the lights on. I know that Tammy and David did a lovely Christmas tour of everyone's decor, and I wanted to participate in that, but it was so lame, I ended up not participating. But hey, I'll have a brand new kitchen, so when I do it next year, it'll be even better.
Well, I'm excited to hear all about this kitchen of yours. Now, I just want to make sure that everybody knows here tonight that in order to participate, you do have to be subscribed to this channel. Patrick and I ship separately. I ship from southern New Jersey, and Patrick ships from a suburb, I guess, of Chicago. So we will be shipping and invoicing separately. Shipping charge is extra, and it's based upon the size of the box and how far you live from both of us. So just keep that in mind. I think I only have one item. Well, that's not true. Never mind. And let's see what else. Got myself off track there. Jump in if whatever I'm forgetting.
No, you're good. Yeah, nothing I have should be particularly heavy or bulky. Again, with the Unbreakable sale, a lot of what we focus on this, although we do sometimes get into metal and wood, a lot of mine are paper and textiles. So fairly easy to put into photo envelope mailers. And I pride, both Scott and I pride ourselves on packaging very well. The number one comment on my eBay store is well packaged. Because I want to make sure this stuff stays in good condition going out. But yeah, nothing particularly difficult or expensive to ship in my case tonight.
Okay.
So I do see a couple new names. I see some people that I recognize coming through, but I see a couple new ones as well. So, what was the popular video? I don't think I saw it. So what was the big video that you put out that captured attention?
Oh my gosh, it's by the end of the night, it's probably going to have 20,000 views. I cannot believe it was just a little Christmas house tour. I only did these 2 rooms, the dining room and the living room. I didn't do anything else. I live in a very small, modest house. And I just finally got all my decorations up. And I guess because it's Christmas and people are looking at Christmas tours and that kind of thing, I put Christmas home tour, and I got up the next morning and 18,000 people were all up in my living room.
Fantastic. I'll have to check it out.
Well, I wish I had dusted a little bit better. I better get to the dusting because I'm hosting Christmas dinner.
Oh, wow.
This will be the first Christmas dinner that I host in my lifetime.
Really? Well, congratulations and good luck.
It'll be easy. Thank you. I'm only having 3 guests. So it's not a huge event. There will only be 4 of us around this dining room table. So I have, well, anyway, if we have time to chat when it's over with, maybe. I know some folks are traveling. Some are already off for the week. Some are going to go in tomorrow, and some are going to work Christmas Day. But for those of you who are either retired or have some vacation days, we are so glad that you joined Patrick and me this evening. Oh, excuse me. That was my dinner. There it comes again. And we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas or a Hanukkah.
Happy holidays. What is today? Is today Festivus? So whatever you may celebrate.
What are your plans?
Actually, Raj and I are going into downtown Chicago tomorrow and spending Christmas Eve in the city and Christmas Day. Found out a couple weeks ago I travel a lot for work, so I accumulate points and things through my hotel. I'm a Marriott guy, and I got a notice saying that one of my free hotel nights was expiring. Well, can't have that. So I needed to use it by the end of the year. So I said, well, where can we go for one night so we can do something for free? So we decided to just go into the city. So Raj does not typically celebrate Christmas. He was raised Hindu, non-practicing now. And for me, doesn't really matter. I like to decorate, but so we're just going to go into the city, walk look at the Christmas, the windows, maybe go to the Christkindl market in the city. We actually have a cooking class scheduled for Christmas Eve to cook the Feast of the Seven Fishes, which I'm not particularly familiar with, but we're going to get a cooking class on how to do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So that's my plans.
Well, if you find out that it's one of those fishes that has a hold of my cell phone, would you please let me know?
Oh, no. We'll see if we can get it back.
For those of you who don't know, this summer I managed to throw my cell phone into the Atlantic Ocean. Don't ask. Don't tell. But anyway, that sounds wonderful. I have only been to Chicago a couple of times, and wonderful. That's so much fun. I love the cities, of course. I hope that you and Raj have a great time. That sounds fantastic. I'm going to do the same thing I have done for 57 years on Christmas Eve, and that is Christmas Eve dinner with the family. That would be my mother's side of the family. Traditionally, Christmas Eve was always my mother's side of the family, and Christmas Day was my father's side of the family. My father's side of the family are gone. My grandparents are gone. My father was an only child. And so that's the reason why Christmas Day is very quiet and very small. So this year it will be my mother and my stepfather, who is wonderful, and they will both be here. And also a dear friend of mine who is I've known forever is coming in and will be staying here as a house guest. He knows all of my family, and so we'll have a Christmas Eve dinner, and then we'll have the church service, of course, where we all turn off the lights and light a candle and sing Steal a Knock, stand around in a big circle, and then Christmas Day, we'll have Christmas Day dinner here. So sounds like, and I'd love to know, I wish we could like press a button and just have people in the audience tell us. It always seems so one-sided when we're just talking and we can't really hear from everybody else. But we both wish everybody else a wonderful time, whatever it is you get up to. Do you have a white Christmas? I have a white Christmas.
We have maybe a gray Christmas. We had a little bit of snow. We had about a total of 2 inches. Most of it is gone because it hit 40 today. So there's just a couple of little traces of it where some of the small piles got pushed to the side, covered in road dirt and things like that. And I don't think we're anticipating getting anything more, but that's okay. You know, I'm sure we'll make up for it in January. So no, we don't anticipate a white Christmas here in Chicago.
Winter has just begun.
Yep.
It is nice to see snow on the ground, although
how much?
Well, it was all completely covered. But you see green peeking through, and I imagine tomorrow there'll be a little bit more, although it was cold today. So just a beautiful coating of snow, nothing of any, maybe 2 inches, nothing of any consequence at all. Didn't blink an eye at it.
Yep. Well, it's that time of year, and appreciate everyone in the chat that are talking about their white Christmases, and that you're giving us some of your time this week. So hopefully you get to enjoy some time off or time with family, or you can avoid your family, whatever you choose to do. So
yes, I see. Yes. And I can see different folks. Justine is going to be driving to New Jersey, 300 miles. And so safe travels, headed down, and 50 degrees in Kentucky. I know the Revival sisters were skiing yesterday, probably up in the Pocono Mountains.
Oh, nice. 50 snow in Wisconsin, not a huge surprise there. So yeah, we'll all be complaining about the snow soon enough, but for now we're avoiding it. All right, well, for tonight, because I do see a little bit of a delay between Scott and I'm sure you're seeing it as well in the chat. Scott, do you want to run all of the starts and stops so that we don't see that extra delay between the two of us?
I'll do it.
That would be fantastic. And
if you tell me the first price of your item, I will put it in and
I will start things off. My first item starts at $20.
And we'll enlarge Patrick, and Patrick has the floor.
Okay, get things started. All right, so starting off, I mentioned a lot of what I'll be doing tonight is ephemera. So what I found, started doing some cleaning as I'm organizing. Anyone who's redone any sort of remodeling, it grows and it has an impact throughout everything, because I had to take everything out of my kitchen cabinets, had to get everything cleaned out. Well, I had to put that somewhere, and so then I was putting things somewhere. I have to find space for other things. Well, that gave me a reason to clean up my storage areas, and I came across stacks of Victorian calling cards. And so what this lot is all of these calling cards. So some of them are hidden name calling cards. And if you're not familiar with a hidden name calling card, it is a die cut kind of business card size that you would, when you'd be visiting friends. It says, accept my sincere love. But you can see there's like a little flap on this one. And when you open the flap, the person's name is underneath it. So we've got some hidden name calling cards. So these are all late 19th century, 1880s, 1890s. So we've got this hidden name one. We've got a sweet remembrances one. And this one's interesting because it actually says Mechanicsburg, PA right on the front with an address. But again, with a little flap for the name. And we've got one with a dove that also says sweet remembrances. And you can see the little piece that's on top is a die cut. And so it's, that was just all the rage, color chromolithography, die cuts. You can see this one actually has a little bend on it. Some of them are in little plastic protectors. So there's another hidden name. This one's got a beautiful dog image on it with a horseshoe and a bird. And then this one, is this one actually a hidden name? I take this one out. Yeah, this one's just a much smaller one. Got kind of a small hidden name. And you open that up, you can see that's got a flap to it. And then we also have regular printed cards. So from your friend, Annie Bast, I think the name is. So we've got a couple of Annie Bast, or a couple from the Bast family. So you have the pink one is Annie. Got a blue one from William Bast, C. William Bast. Then we've got a blue one with, what are those? Lily of the Valley, I think, from Annie Bast. And so you get all of these cards for $20. I like this one. This is more 1870s. As you can see, the aesthetic movement, kind of a little Asian motif with the nature of the butterflies and the geometric, the Greek key design. Mm-hmm. We've got, I think this used to be a hidden name because you can see there's like a little remnant of a card that should have been covering that, but that one's gone. So it's just a regular card now. Charlie Bast, George Edwards. So we got somebody who's broken into the Bast family, and Frida Bast. So you get all of those, which if I counted correctly, I think that brings us to 13 individual cards. And again, for $20, you get all of those. And this old scrapbook page. So I did a video on this a while ago that showed that you can use a product called Undo, takes old 19th century ephemera, breaks down the glue, and takes these off of scrapbook pages. And I have successfully done that myself. And my intention when I bought these was to go ahead and do that to this. Never got around to doing it. So I'm going to offer it to you. There's some beautiful ones on here. You can see some of these, again, used to be, no, the plastic ones are not sealed. They're just in a little protective sleeve so they don't get torn. My intention, if they don't sell here, I'll take them to my booth. But I get really nervous about putting the hidden name ones in my booth because if you lift this too many times, it's going to break the glue and snap those off. So that's why most of them are in. I'll put the ones that are loose now. I'll put those into protectors as well when I mail them. I see an opening bid from Karen. Thank you so much. So you see some beautiful ones in here. Some of them used to be hidden names, but like, look at this great upside down bird. Lithograph of Mo Kenny. Beautiful multicolors with the birds. I personally like Rewards of Merit. If you're not familiar with Rewards of Merit, this one says, an honorable testimony of approbation for industry, punctuality, and good conduct. And it's presented to, and you've got the student's name that the teacher would write in here, and then there's a line for the teacher to sign. These are 19th century or early 20th century. Based on this sheet, I would say these are 19th century. That those would be handed to kids. Like it would be kind of like along with your report card, hey, good job. You did something good today or whatever. And they always have these beautiful artwork. And I've successfully sold the Rewards of Merit on my eBay store. And that's actually what attracted me to this one. It's a nice good size, but there's some beautiful on that. And then on the back, you got even more with a really interesting one. This says H.S. McKinney. There's another McKinney on the other side. But check out that image. It's like an eagle with a flag and a star. Now I can't tell what's in that star. I can't tell if it once upon a time was printed something. There's definitely an image in it, but I can't really make out what that image is. So it's just, I'll try to get a zoom in on it. Should have done it before. That's what's on there. So maybe it's a state seal or something. Looks like a person in the middle and then two people on either side, like maybe two children. So I don't know. I've not seen that one. That's kind of cool.
Oh my goodness! I wonder. I don't mean to interrupt you, and I'm sorry to do that. It almost appears that reminds me of Pennsylvania, where William Penn is working out a treaty with the natives, and they're shaking hands. It just made me think of that. I see on the left. I don't know. I shouldn't have spoken. It's probably not. Never mind. Keep going.
No, I mean there are letters in there.
Or Gar.
Maybe it's very, very hard to read.
It could be Gar.
Oh yeah, could be.
It could be Gar.
So, so the rest of them are just regular. You know, you get this entire sheet. So most of them are traditional. Like this one's kind of cool. It looks like a book.
That's Grand Army of the Republic, I think. If I'm not
yes, GAR, Grand Army of the Republic.
Well, is
like
that right?
GAR? Yeah, it was the northern.
It's the northern Civil War.
After the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a GAR what's it like it's a hall. They built a building nearby. And it's like where they used to hold their meetings and stuff. It's an absolutely gorgeous building from the 1860s or 1870s. Anyway, so you get all of these. It looks like Vera K6 has the highest bid. So we're going to go ahead and count this down. Took a long time to show all of these. But again, you get all of these. So it's 15 or 13 of the separate ones plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 additional ones plus the reward of merit in the middle. That, you know, a little DIY project. Get your some undo, and there's other tricks. Freezing it. There's other ways to do. Yeah, KP Gudger said the same thing. Or no, you said you're bundled up freezing. Some people have had luck freezing paper, and that helps break the glue down. Great little project for everyone. So thank you. Vera K is the highest. Count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 4, 3. I'm going to show that this is not sealed either. 3, 2, 1, and stop. And I'm following on my phone, and there's quite a bit of a delay.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of a delay. Between us, but I think it is your bid of. I think it is your bid of 30. Vera K6.
Great.
I think. All right.
All right, Vera. I think you are new to me, so if you can email to this email address before the show ends tonight, so I know that I've got your information, I would appreciate that. And then back to Scott.
Okay, we're going to start. This next item is going to start at $20. And oh gosh, hold on for what? Let me not. Why? Hold on, everybody. It's going to be. I think Santa Claus is messing around with the atmosphere, with the ozone. No, what? Hold on. I apologize. It's too late to apologize. Well, you're getting a lot of coverage.
Enjoy my room.
Okay.
There you go.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad we got rid of Patrick. Laugh, Patrick. Is he on mute?
Sorry. Ha ha ha.
Thank you. Starting at $20, I have a beautiful old oil painting. It measures 9 by about 11, maybe 11 and a half. I don't know where my ruler is, but this is 9 inches, and that's 9 inches there. I will hold it up and let you see it very closely, but it starts at $20. I believe it to probably go back to the turn of the century. I think it's late 19th century or early 20th century. It's on, you see the back of it. You can tell an awful lot from the back. It's unsigned. It needs to be cleaned. And there's no date on it. But if we zoom in closely, there's a wonderful sort of crackaloor finish to it. Can you see that? I don't know how well it comes up, but it's an old cracked, what they call, I guess, crackaloor on the. It's a beautiful winter scene, and it appears as though we have late 19th century or even early. Listen, this could be anywhere from 1880s to 1910. We have two figures that are walking through the snow. It's a lovely little house, and then a little village in the distance, which looks as if it might have a church. And there are a few snowbirds up in the sky. I think it's a lovely scene, and I can just see this in a really nice old gold picture frame. A gilded wooden picture frame, perhaps. I think it's well done for an amateur.
Beautiful.
I love the thought, maybe they're coming up from another farm and maybe they're walking into the village for Christmas Eve service. Who knows? You know what? That could be old Franz Gruber himself. Maybe that's a guitar behind him and not a woman. No, that's a woman. Maybe he's on his way. You know, the pipe organ broke down, and that's how we got Silent Night over there in Germany. Wouldn't that be neat if that was the story? But there's the little village.
So it seems fairly rigid. So is it?
It's card. It's
board?
Yep. Yeah. It's not a canvas. It reminds me of the old cardboard that the old cabinet cards were printed on, or the card.
Okay.
You know, the Carta de Vista, those things. It's that heavy. I don't know if this was sold as an art supply or if somebody just painted on the back of an old piece of black. But the cardboard itself reminds me very much of those old pictures.
It's held up beautifully.
So there it is, and I don't have anything else to say about it other than I love it, and I just hope that someone can find a nice little frame for it. I see
you have your opening bid from Jan-Marie Brunette Hunyadi.
If there are no questions, I'll count the oil painting down. Ooh. And again, we'll say circa 1900.
Patsy brought it up to 22.
Isn't it quaint? It's almost like folk art. The people are almost folk artish, but much better job on the house. 10. The high bid is something. 24, 10,
24.
9, 8, 7. Oh, I'm putting in my own stop, aren't I? So I don't have to do that. I'll do it anyway. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Actually, I do need to do it so I can see the delay. And Silent Night is playing. Okay, here comes the stop and the refresh. Jan-Marie Burnett Hunyadi at 28. Patrick, do you see that?
I just refreshed, and yes, I see that right before the stop.
Okay. Thank you, Jan-Marie. And everyone who placed bids. It takes just a second to write that down, then to go back up here to the screen and bring Patrick back. There he is.
Thank you, sir.
And
so my next item, we're going to move away from ephemera into something some of you may have seen before, because I have actually sold this on Scott's channel in the past. This is a $35 start. It sold and had actually been bid up to a higher price, and unfortunately that person disappeared. And because I didn't like the fact that that person had bid it up so far, I wanted to start it over. So we are starting at the original starting price of 35. It is a vintage Russian lacquer box. And for those that are familiar with lacquer boxes, you look really closely there in the middle. You can see in the Cyrillic alphabet a word that says Polyak. And Polyak is known for the quality of their hand-painted vintage lacquer boxes. Now, what was happening over time is in the Soviet era, the print was really, really small. So you can see it's really, really tiny. The design is the artwork. And then you have the names of the piece. And then the year is sometimes on here. This one, I don't think has the year on it. As we got closer and we passed the Soviet era, they were still painting these, but because they were so well known, Polyak became almost like a gigantic banner that went across the bottom. And so suddenly it was the name that was selling it, not the art. So this one is I believe this one is Troika, because it's 3 horses pulling. I believe they're in a sleigh, and you can see it looks like the abduction of a man and a woman. That's what it's Metaluzia, and I forgot. I did look that up once, but I can't remember now what that stands for. But the 3 horses usually means it's Troika. Thank you, Jenny. And I think you might have been the underbidder the last time, so I'm glad you're back. So $35. Thank you for starting that out. It's a smaller scale box, but it's still in lovely condition. Hinged. You got the beautiful red lacquer inside. And then you've got this great little cross hatch paint job across the bottom half of it. And then on the bottom, it was not marked of who made it or where it was made or anything like that. Some of them have made in the USSR, painted on there. This one most likely wasn't designed for the Western market. It was designed to stay in the Soviet Union. So it did not need to be marked of who made it. Sometimes they would have paper labels, but the earlier ones wouldn't necessarily have had that. So it's a little bit hard to date these. Usually the best way is the smaller the print, the older they are, because the artists felt that they weren't the selling point. They wanted their art to be the selling point. But I love the little squiggly trim work all the way around it. It's just a beautiful little box. When I traveled to the Soviet Union in 1989, I actually traded a pair of denim jeans for a Polyak lacquer box. I still own it. So I've always had an affinity for these. Do not need to start another collection. So when I find them, I always resell them. So this one is been bid up. Susan came in for 38. So appreciate Susan. And I'm going to start counting this one down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stop. And I will wait for Scott to get that lag done and verify who was the high bidder.
Patrick.
Yes, sir.
Did Tina Bradford win something from you already tonight?
No.
Okay.
I think she was sending information because I have an email from her as well. I think she was just pre-registering, which I do. We do appreciate that, Tina.
I just wanted to check because Tina hasn't won anything from me tonight, and I don't require it. So I just wanted to double check just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Thank you, Tina. Okay, your winner, it looks like Jenny Mack at 51, I think, Patrick. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jenny. Fellow Wittenberg grad. Jenny Mack is a fellow Wittenberg graduate, so I'm glad it's going to a fellow alum.
I've got some magazines to sell, and so I've got 5 of them. Magazines can take forever to show, and I promise I'm not going to take forever to show these magazines. But I've got 5 of them. We're going to start at $20 for the 5. They're all different. Let me quickly just show you. Let me tell you first before I show them to you. They're clean. They don't have silverfish or mold. They don't stink like mildew, but they're old magazines. So as you know, ephemera has a smell and there's a certain somewhat brittleness, but they're not falling apart. They're very respectable, readable copies of old magazines with their covers and their backs. And all the pages appear to be there. Now that we got that out of the way, we have June of 1929. Better Homes and Gardens. Oh, if only they knew in June of 1929 that the party was almost over. House Beautiful from April of 1940. So we're going from just a few months, 6 months before the crash to just a little, well, before we enter the Second World War and pull ourselves out of the Depression, 1940. The Women's Home Companion from June of 1933. Boy, no, that's 1944. Tough year for the Depression, June of 44. Arts and Decoration is one that's not found very often. Old pottery, art, antique furniture, distinguished rooms, homes of good taste. I love it. That's May of 1938. And finally, a wonderful old McCall's magazine from the summer of 1939. And so that's the 5 magazines that you've got. I don't want to take 10 minutes and go, you all know these are so much fun. I'm a collector of old magazines. I have read all of these. Tune out when you don't want to hear what's going on. We read the newspaper, we know what's happening in the world, but just put on some old music and take an evening and sit back and go back into these old magazines. They're like books. You can actually, you read, I devour it, and every time you pick them up, it's something new. Recipes, and oh gosh, there they are. 5 of them, quickly. Better Homes and Gardens, June 1929. House Beautiful, that's April of 1940. I'm getting little paper spots on me. Woman's Home Companion, June of 1934. Now, you're going to get some wear on the spline. Yeah, not the spleen. If you have wear on your spleen, that's a whole, I can't help you with that. Arts and Decorations of 1930, what did I tell you? 1938. McCall's magazine, the magazine, 3 magazines in one, it says. Family Relationships. Oh boy. May of 1939. Oh, did we do House Beautiful and Good Housekeeping? I think we did. Yes, we did. We'll count them down. The high bid, I'm not looking. Where are we?
I think Tina took you up to $40.
Okay. Tina, thank you. I'm going to count those 5 magazines down. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I'm going to now jump right in here and put in my stop, which I didn't type in yet. I forgot. Sorry, because I'm doing it all. There it is. Get your eyes in sync. Hit refresh. The magazines are sold. My Christmas tree doesn't look very bright, does it? I'm going to turn on some brighter lights on that. It's Lisa the RN at 48. Is that right?
That is, I see that came in before the stop as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for all who placed bids. I appreciate that. Patrick, it's your turn, and I'm going to brighten some lights in here.
All right. Well, I see your 5 magazines from the 20s, 30s, and 40s and raise you 2 magazines from the 1900s, 1901 and 1902. And this is the 2 of them will start for $10. My $10 start. Mm-hmm. So what we got here is the New York Magazine of Mysteries. You can tell by some of the things that are on here. Fortunes told free by Zodiac. But you got bigotry, intolerance, superstition, persecution, love, peace, freedom, and charity. Strange Case of Michael McCaffrey. There is a wonderful site that I found that is collecting images of all of these magazines. It is the IAPSOP, which you'll never guess what that stands for. It is the International Association for the Preservation of Spiritualist and Occult Periodicals. So we've got magazines of spiritualists and occultists. So this one is January 1902 with this amazing image. Now, admittedly, the reason this one's not going on eBay has some conditions issue. You can see, I think maybe a mouse got to the binding on this one. It kind of chewed it up. The back page is referenced on the front, number 96, Fortunes Told Free by Zodiac. So you've got this lovely zodiacal chart on the back. I don't know if there's a page missing. There's not a table of contents. So I can't tell if there should have been another sheet that covered this, but at least the thing it covers on the front is here. The other one, though, is in amazingly good condition. The artwork on the front, a little bit less interesting than the others. But you can see the staples are still here on the side. This one is from September 1901. And this one does have kind of a cool image on the back. It is the Vegetarian's Breakfast. And the Vegetarian's Breakfast, what more advanced can mortals make in sin, deaf to the calf that lies beneath the knife? Okay, I'm going to stop there. I like my meat. But again, 1901, just look at the illustration of that. The beautiful table setting, even if it is all vegetarian. The sideboard in the background with the candelabra. On the front, containing the mysteries of dreams and their meanings, glorified visions, occult powers, astrology, hypnotism, psychology, telepathy, psychometry, magnetism, clairvoyance, graphology, palmistry, hidden powers, etc., etc., etc. So you've got, Houdini was really big into this type of stuff. And these are all articles, kind of going through. They're so early. I'm sorry, Scott, what'd you say?
I'm sorry. Florence Harding would love that.
There you go. It's early enough that the art is there's not as many cool illustrations in here, but you get some great articles. The Sistine Madonna. This to me is just like fascinating reading. Colonel Olcott's experience with Mahatmas, psychic and occult briefs, the magic mirrors of Japan, hypnotism, the duty of keeping cheerful, for girls who see no harm in the social glass. There is a cool peace imagery on this one. Check that out. Peace and harmony. Isn't that gorgeous?
Wonderful.
Beautiful illustration on that. And you've got the a little child shall lead them. So I found this interesting that this is filled with a lot of biblical references, but it's actually a spiritualism and occult. There's a whole section on astrology. This is from the 1901. This is not the one that has the zodiacal chart on the back. Modern spiritualism in New York City. The ghost saved a ship's crew. A whole article on telepathy. It's fascinating reading. So I pulled these two apart. I've got a couple more that I'll probably list on eBay. So they can be great for finding some of the art, some of the imagery in here. Hey, do the zodiac chart. Place the circular disc here with your sign opposite, same sign outside the circle. It's an advertisement to make, to read your chart. Telepathy, dreams, and psychic phenomena. A whole set of articles on that. See if this one has some cool illustrations. Affirmations, dreams and their meanings.
Your high bid is 17.
All right. I will go ahead and start counting this one down. Yeah, and again, you get both of them for that price. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And that is the 1901, September 1901 and January 1902. And it looks like it started in 1901, not that it matters, but this is volume 1. So I think the entire magazine started in 1901. This was issue number 5. All right. I saw the stop come through. So it looks like KP gets these for $17.
It looks like it.
Thank you so much, KP.
All right. Let's see here. Let's go to that and then that. Everybody says, my gosh, you do this on your cell phone? Well, I do. Which is why my fingers are up there pointing. I have a tablet around here somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. This next item starts at $125. This is a Wilcox and Gibbs sewing machine. The latest patent date on it is 1894, and it weighs, as you can imagine,
wow.
It weighs, so it starts at $125. I will tell you, you're buying a sewing machine to be restored. It appears to be as complete as I think it is. I've studied it and I've looked at, wait a minute, lots of pictures. Anyone who knows old sewing machines, you'll just look at the sewing machine itself. You'll recognize that as a popular model that had several patent additions throughout the years. But you can see when it was finally electrified, they had to change a few things. The flywheel is still there. Oh, gracious. Well, I can't show you and put it down. It's almost like they took the sewing machine and just attached it to it like a, when the designers were figuring out how to do this, they just sort of, stuck the motor right into this, which would have, this would have the sewing machine belt on it to be used by a foot pedal. Now, right now, I've cut the electric cord off because I didn't want anybody to plug this in. Also, it needs a complete refurbish. So let's just, is anybody, I don't want to go on and on and on, but I do, if we have any sewing machine folk here tonight, please don't be shy. If there's no interest in this tonight, I'll put this in the eBay store. But I wanted to offer it at a lower price here tonight in case we have any sewing machine collectors. And it seems if no one is interested, I really don't want to continue talking about it. And I don't see.
There's a question about whether it had crank handles.
No,
but no, because that one's got a motor on it.
Right. This is an electric. This was electric. This is. They were originally. This was a tabletop model that could clamp onto a table. Some of them had a foot pedal for a belt, the old-fashioned non-electric ones.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then Sparkle and Munge is asking if that's set up to have a bobbin underneath it.
No, it's so heavy.
So it's single stitch in the top. Okay.
Right. As far as I'm told, it's just a single stitch. It was patented in the 1880s, and then this, by the time we get to 1894, Wilcox and Gibbs had figured out how to put, I imagine GE or Westinghouse probably made these motors,
mm-hmm.
and then stuck them on there. So that's it. It's got all of this wonderful pinstriping, and can you see the gold decoration? The way
absolutely. That's just a piece of art. Like that.
Oh, it's a big doorstop too. But also, and we have grapes painted on the opposite side.
Oh wow!
So it's all just like you want to find it, sort of attic fresh.
I'd hack the motor off and just use that as like just as Virginia said, a great decoration. It's like a great piece of sculpture.
Well, a person could, and this, I even love the spool of thread that's on the top. It's in one of those old Clark's.
Oh, nice.
It's ancient. So I was going to tell you, and then we'll move on because we don't have sewing machine folks here. What was I going to tell you about this thing? Well, I don't remember. Oh, yep, I can't remember. Okay, we have no interest in the sewing machine. If somebody sees this video after the fact, Sometime after Christmas, it'll be in the eBay store. But I do have to warn you that even in this condition, they can sell for $250 on eBay. So I was trying to see if we had anybody here tonight that would like it as a deal. My goodness, it's heavy. Back down on the floor. Yeah, so it'll go in the eBay store sometime after Christmas, but we'll wait till January. It is intermission time, but no, let's keep going because it's only 10 of. Want to keep going?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay, so I'm moving into some textiles now. So this one is a $25 start. And what you are getting is this wonderful 1920s. We're not 100% sure what this is. It was a linen, kind of an envelope bag that has been created. And when I bought it, the person I bought it from, I bought other things from, and he's a great resource on Instagram, Iowa City Antiques. He felt that this was probably what he thought was a handkerchief bag. So you would store your small handkerchiefs in. So I took him at his word, and I'm adding 2 small handkerchiefs. And so this is a $25 start. If Scott could enter that in, please.
I will.
$25, and you get the beautiful applique hand stitched, and you get the hem stitch on the side, the little linen bag, and 2 what I'm assuming are children's handkerchiefs, or just child style handkerchiefs. You've got this one, which I think these are nursery rhymes. I recognize some of them. So I think that is what's the one that's stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum. Little Jack Horner. Yeah, little Jack Horner sat in a corner stuck in his plum. You got the Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse climbing up the clock. I'm not sure what this one is, because I'm not sure what that is. Is that a goat? I don't know what that is. So I don't think it's a little Bo Peep. So I don't think it's a sheep.
Not Marion or Lamb. I don't know who it is.
No. So it's like, so those are the ones that are repeated just on each of the 4 sides. So that's kind of like a cocoa color, white in the center, and then kind of like a brownish cocoa color on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is like a circus theme. And this has like a light Wedgwood blue color on the edges. So you've got a circus, you've got an elephant with maybe a tiger in the cage, the strong man, a dog balancing a ball on his nose, a tightrope walker. And then again, it's the same design on each of the 4 sides. So you've got that tightrope walker shows up on all 4 corners of this. So they're small-ish, but I don't know if that necessarily makes them children's ones, or they're just small. They're 7 inches square. Mm-hmm. So they're lovely little handkerchiefs. So you get this style. I would say these are probably, I think 50s, 60s would be my guess. What do you think, Scott? Just based on that type of imagery, age-wise, like when handkerchiefs were like tucked in your sleeves. Mm-hmm. But the main point of this set is the handcrafted handkerchief envelope. So it's $25 for all of those. So we want to make sure we get everything sold, run through tonight. So I don't see anybody starting things off, and I am going to try and go faster on some things. So if you want something, make sure you get a starting bid in. Otherwise, we're just going to ask Scott to put a stop in. I'm not going to count it down. And I will put this in my booth instead. Okay. All right. And move over to you, Scott.
All right. This is just going to be so much fun. $10. Somebody wants these ice cube trays. Now, you remember them. $10 to get both of them. How much fun are you going to have when your grandkids come over and you freeze the ice and you film it and you put them at the table and you put this in front of them and you see what they do with it? You're going to have so much fun. $10 for these. Let me make myself large, but if I'm old enough to know what these are, so are you. You know what my memory is of these is your hands being wet, like from the sink you'd stick to these. Your skin would stick to them. Like, you know, oh, come on. You know what I'm talking about, Patrick, when you wet your tongue and
Oh, absolutely.
um,
Like instant frost that it just like grabs right onto there. It peels your skin right off.
It would rip your skin. These things would rip your skin right off. Anyway, I've got 2 of them and they're $10. Are they not hilarious? I love them. Okay, what else?
They don't make them like that anymore.
They don't make them like that anymore. I think probably as we got into the 70s, I know these were hanging around in the 60s, and of course, your grandparents were still using them. But
Patsy started you out at 10. I was gonna say they were still hanging around, but I'd say by the 70s you ended up getting into like the Tupperware versions of them where they were more flexible, so you could pop them out. You didn't need that big crank that like broke them apart and broke the ice out of the tray.
Yes, I know. So anyway, there they are. Okay, counting them down. The high bid is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Blah.
Oh, fun. Nancy's saying they used to actually come with your refrigerator. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's cool.
That they did come with refrigerators. In goes the stop, and it looks like Patsy McCarthy has come in at $15 for those. It appears as though, let me refresh quickly and see.
Well, she outbid herself.
Oh, yeah, outbid herself. So it's Patsy at 10.
Yeah, so she was protecting her. She really wants those. So congratulations, Patsy.
She got them for the opening bid. $10. That is PATSYM. Okay, Patrick, let's bring you back.
Okay. So I'm moving into some ephemera again. This is a $10 start. And this was a really fun thing that I couldn't pass up because it's kind of like vintage advertising. I would say it falls into that world. So I'll start with the outside because you will get this. This is a gigantic envelope. Let me actually measure the envelope. If it were closed, it is 17 by 13. So we've got a big size envelope. And you can see right on here, it is from the Popcorn Institute. And it's from Weaver Popcorn Company, Huntington, Indiana, Rush. Ordered popcorn display material.
Did you give me a start, Patrick?
It was $10 start.
My fault.
No worries. And so this doesn't appear to ever been mailed. There's no address or anything on here. So this is like new old stock. It was maybe from the printing company or somebody had a stash of these. But inside is all of the printed material that you got, which I'm assuming went to a movie theater. So again, it's from the Popcorn Institute, which was in Chicago, Illinois. Now, worth noting, it is a 2-digit zip code. Or, well, this was only one, but this is in the days of 2-digit zip codes. So this is prior to 1963. So this is from between World War II and 1963 is when all of these date to. And inside, you got this little popcorn. It's a treat. Check out the graphics on this. So like again, 50s, 60s. Lori and Robert have us at $10 to start. This one matches it. You got the little smiley. There's no text on it, but great. Again, image of the popcorn with the Popcorn Institute name and address on the bottom. Then you've got a folded one. So we've gotten a little bit bigger. We got licking his fingers, got at the bottom. So again, promoting popcorn. And then another one, diving into the barrel of popcorn. Our popcorn is fresh. So again, there was some of the wording on here. I'm thinking that these were supposed to go to movie theaters. So the small ones that were flat would have been, should have measured these, 11 and a half by like 9 1/4. And then double that to get these folded over ones. And then you've got another doubled over, but the other way. So this makes it wider. Relax with popcorn. It's fresh. So again, check out the cool graphics on that. Another just great graphic. Like again, kind of like vintage advertising. Popcorn. And again, the wide banner size on that one. Another wide. We've got a couple. Double your pleasure with popcorn. you've got a man and a woman sharing some popcorn together from the Popcorn Institute. And then we jump back to, let's see.
Perfect for a movie room.
Absolutely. This is just, we're so fun to decorate all these graphics. This is a larger one again. Our popcorn is tops. You got kids in that one. And then another vertical, another vertical fold. Popcorn. So you just get these really cool graphics. And then, because it was all supposed to be mailed together, you also get a vintage Coca-Cola advertisement that, I don't know, you wouldn't necessarily put this out, but of those handling beverages, more than 4 out of 5 theaters sell Coke. Let us help you make more money. Because if you sell popcorn, what do people need with their popcorn? They need something to drink. So sell Coca-Cola for extra profit. Ask the Coca-Cola company representatives who call on you for their extra services, available free of charge. So this is kind of a cool vintage Coca-Cola advertising piece all by itself. But it's all mixed in with all of these cool popcorn stuff. And Tina, I agree. They'd be so cute framed, kids' room, even like going into just a powder room. Like, you don't need a movie room. They're just fun graphics. And I'm going to go ahead and start counting them down. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I should have done a count on how many pieces you're getting here, but I had to counted at least 10 different pieces in here. 2 and stop.
Okay.
And I will mail it all. I will mail it so that big mailer is folded. I'm not going to fold it, so I'm going to mail it as if it would have been. I'll keep it flat between big sheets of cardboard.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like Lori and Robert get it. Back in the day finds. They will have a good home for it. Thank you.
This next item is just funny to me. Patrick knows what it is because we were chatting about it a little bit before we went on air, trying to, figure out the dynamic. And I'm always fascinated with what, So here's this very, thrift shops are filled with old silver plate. At least they are where I live. A lot of times I ignore it. We can see the old brass underneath. We can see that it's looking very Edwardian from, this is for bread. And it just has that look, that sort of Titanic era look. Yeah. Well, what's the big deal? Well, there's not really a big deal. It starts at $15, and I should put that in there. Because we know something a little bit about this piece of silver plate. We know that it was presented to 2 people, and we know the year that it was presented because it's engraved on the back. And on the back, the date is
You said 1916.
Yoon. Yeah, well, it's 1916. I'm trying to see.
There you go. Polish it up.
Yeah. I think it's June, like 24th. Anyway, the year is 1916, but I love who it's engraved to. It just says Frau Johansson and Dee Dee. Now, who in the heck was Frau Johansson and Dee Dee? We were thinking, well, I shouldn't tell you, we shouldn't say what we were thinking, but now you're German. Frau is an old woman. Or at least a married woman, right? So it's just funny that it's engraved back here. Frau Johansson and Dee Dee. I love that. Can you see it back there? You can't see it. But it's there.
Tiniest bit. I don't know if I can read it, but I can see there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you will be the only, when you pass the dessert roll, when you pass the bread, won't be this Christmas, I can't get it to you. You will say, "We will now place the silver on the German doily. You will eat, Frau Johansson und Dee Dee. Eat the bread now." German. I can make fun of Germans, right? That's about 90% of my blood. Anyway, I don't know why I'm getting such a kick out of Frau Johansson and Dee Dee. It's like Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. I don't know.
But it's a beautiful dish. There's a lot of detail in that dish.
Well,
like the little
is.
ribbons coming down from the cartouches on the side and those cutout handles. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so there it is. All right, let's count. After all that, nobody wants it.
KP's got you at the opening bid of 15.
KP wants it. KP, you really want this? Are you that Frau Johansson and Dee Dee? Are you going to be serving German? You can put a big Stollen right down the middle of it. All right, I love it. You'll be the only one. 10, 9, 8, 7. That's the high bid. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. We'll see if anybody jumps in there for the...
Oh, yeah, but Florida Golden Girl's trying to sneak in there and grab it.
Did anybody in the chat say who they thought Frau Johansson and Dee Dee might be?
Well, Nancy has a good idea that it could have been like a gift to a high school German teacher. Like that would be kind of a nice memento. I still don't know where Dee Dee would be, how Dee Dee falls into the picture. But I know my daughter called her German teacher Frau Julie. So, it could have been an honorific. All right, I need to help you refresh.
Yes, but why would it go to both of them?
No, exactly. I think it does seem like odd.
Yeah, if it wouldn't be, it's odd that they notate that the woman is an older woman or an older married woman.
Married woman, right?
And Dee Dee.
And not they didn't give the honorific to Dee Dee. So no.
Right. It's just who knows. But anyway,
I see that Florida Golden Girl got it for 30.
I see that as well. Okay. That was fun.
Maybe it was her pet. So you put the dog food in there.
It could be, Patrick. I don't know. I guess it's a mystery. It's a mystery. Thank you, Florida Golden. It's a mystery.
And that's why antiques are fun. They're just you don't have a story to go with it. You make up your own.
Well, we don't know that it was her dog. I don't know. I don't know. Dog wouldn't be the first thing that I would jump to when I'm thinking of somebody giving a silver bread plate to Frau Johansson, that they also would subscribe her dog on there, but I don't know.
Maybe if Dee Dee was the spinster child living together.
Well, have you got something else?
Or something else.
You do?
I do. You have metalware. I have metalware.
Let's see it.
So mine is not as, I don't think mine's as old as yours,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we might be getting close. So I've got a $15 start. And these are coming from my personal collection, because as we started at the top of the show, my kitchen is in the process of being redone. And these had been on display in my kitchen, and they are going to have a home once my kitchen is redone. So 3 metal tea tins. So right off the bat, we've got, this is a very
what price?
$15 start. You get all 3 of them. 15.
Thank you.
So this is a very common style. Most people will have seen these if you haunt antique shops and things. This is relatively common. But what is not common is this is the Russian. So you've got Evoitny chai. I can see the last word is chai. Normally that is anglicized. And so this exact same tin is done in English. And I actually have had this tin in English, and they used to sit side by side. I retired the English ones a while ago, and I kept this in my collection. And now, unfortunately, I'm retiring this one. But so you get this one, and this, it's nice because the top is actually hinged. It doesn't come off, but it would have been used to sell tea. So you get the Russian tin, and then this one you get Louis Sherry's tea. This one also has a hinged top. Louis Sherry Teas, blend of choice and delicately flavored teas. blank on the bottom. So you got all the logos on it. So basically you're building a vintage advertising collection, some industrial collection, and they're functional because they do hold things. One of them held the screws from a shelving unit that was next to the kitchen when I took it apart. So then I lost them for months. I'm like, where did I put those screws? I put them in one of the boxes and didn't know it. And then the third one is an old Lipton Orange Pico tea bags. So you've got the logos on there of King George the Fifth, and I should have looked up when King George the Fifth was King George. So I don't know if this one has. So it's Thomas Lipton. It was the Packer, Hoboken, New Jersey. Net weight 1.8 ounces. I don't see a year on this one. I should have looked. Acknowledged throughout the world at the great tea expeditions in Ceylon and India. Grown in Sir Thomas Lipton's estate. Awarded the first prize. Choices tea produced. I'm not sure if this would indicate age, but the tea. So you get all three of these. I've got Robert and Lori back in the day finds kicking it off at $15. And I will go ahead and count down from there. So you get all three of them. Great industrial design. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Okay. Let's see here. I think
right.
There you go.
Yep, I see. So it looks like it's just back of the day. They get it for the opening bid. Congratulations, Lori and Robert.
Okay. I'm going to move it along here. We're a little bit behind schedule. I want us to keep us as close to 10 o'clock as possible. And I'm just starting my fifth item now. So going to speed it up a little bit. If you see something you like, don't be shy. This is I guess you call it toll painting. I love it. It's pretty. Look at the wear on that. It's $12 start. It's not dented or rusted. It's 10 inches, between 10 and 11 inches across. There's the back of it. There's the front of it. You all know this sort of toll painted work, but I just like all of the wear that's on this. Sometimes it's hard to tell how old these things are. I sometimes struggle with trying to figure out, because sometimes, these can look ancient, but they can, be from 1990. This has a lot of wear on it, as I guess you can probably see. And I think this gold decoration around the outside is very pretty. It's either pierced around the outside or articulated, whatever you want to call it.
Did you have a start price for this, Scott?
I did. I didn't type it in, but I announced that the start was 12.
All right, let's put it in really quick.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Patrick. I will go ahead and get the stop in there, or at least type it STOP. Okay, so there it is. A tin tray, which may be very old. The high bid right now is 12, and I'm going to count it down. If anybody else is interested, please feel free to jump in. Patrick, if you have anything to say that can help me out in terms of dating it, I'd love it.
I do have a collection of them, and I will just say there's kind of like 3 eras where this became popular. It is not the 80s, the 1980s era, because the way that was done was single brush, and it has a very specific look, and my mother did it. Yeah. So I grew up with it. So it's definitely earlier. I would vote that this is probably the 30s, 40s, but simply because that gold is in such good condition. If it were 19th century, I'm not sure if it would still be in good condition with that pierce work, but it's possible. I have both. I have some that are 1800s and some that are mid-century, but that definitely has age to it.
Thank you. The high bid is 18, and we're going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I think it's a very pretty piece.
It's beautiful. It's a nice size too.
Decorative arts. The stop is in. The high bed looks like it's KP at 18. So I want to say thank you, KP at 18. And Patrick, we're now going to go back to you.
All right, I will do this as fast as possible. We've got a $10 start.
Hold on, let me get you. That was okay. Sorry, I was okay.
Okay, I've got a $10 start. And the same thing as what Scott dealt with. I have a stack of magazines. I'm not gonna be able to go through all of them. But again, I was cleaning out my storage area, and this was like a weird mix of magazines. I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna put them all together. So I've got a Ladies Circle from 1968 with Lucille Ball on the cover. I've got the memorial issues from Time and Star magazine from 1998 for the death of Frank Sinatra. So you got a contemporary-ish Time and Sinatra. I also have a 1964 Show magazine with Leslie Ann Warren on the cover with a lovely Kent cigarette ad on the back. And then I've got a 1963 Saturday Evening Post cover of Jack Benny, March 2nd, 1963, with a Marlboro ad on the back. This came from an estate sale. This was mixed in with it. It was a letter to Mr. Rothfuss with an electronic signature of Obama, paid for by the Democratic National Party. So you probably got this as a Christmas card, or who knows, you probably got this for making a donation. Not his actual signature, but, you know, kind of a nice item to remember things by. And then also tucked in there were two newspapers. The Intelligencer from 2008 announcing Obama's win, nation elects its first black president. And then this one. Okay, so the Intelligencer is from Bucks and Montgomery counties. I think that puts it in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
And then the Sun Sentinel is for South Florida. And this was a 2016 Cliffhanger. And we won't talk any more about that. So that one, so you get both newspapers, the digitized signature of Obama, the Saturday Evening Post, just kind of flip through. So you can see there's, you know, we're late enough that this is going to give you the color advertisements of the 60s magazines. I wasn't familiar with this one, the Show magazine. It says it's the magazine of the arts. So I am not familiar with Show magazine, but Leslie Ann Warren, a Beatles illustration in here, some full page photography. Not as many advertisements, it appears to be in this one, much more article, a cool art car ad. Jose Cuervo, tequila. The Sinatras, they're from the 80s. You know, they are what they are. And then Ladies Circle, I'm not sure. That doesn't sound right. Family Circle, I guess I'm familiar with. So I don't know what happened to Ladies Circle, but that's got the date on the side of December 1968. So I got a Florida Golden Girl for $10, and I will count it down. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
All right. Ooh. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
All right, I see it. So Florida Golden Girl gets the set for $10. Congratulations. And cleared out some of my storage space.
Next up, I'd like to offer a set of bookends. We're going to start at $29. I'm really hoping that if anyone is interested in these, I hope that you watched the preview video. It's going to take me a minute to explain the damage that's on one of them. It's not horrible damage, and it's pretty easy to repair. But there they are. We have two wonderful elephants. Now, these date to 1931. They are on Art Deco sort of bases here. One is excellent. One has a minor issue that can be actually repaired quite easily, but nothing is broken or missing from these. Yeah. All right. And nothing has been repaired on them. The reason why the bottom is off of one is so that I can tell you about it. If we look here, we can see that they're dated. Well, maybe you can't. These are dated 1931, and you'll see the word New Art, N-U-A-R-T, and then New York City. You may be familiar with Frank Art, not the same company. In fact, there's not a whole lot that's known about New Art, although they were just about as prolific as Frank Art. Frank Art gets a lot more mileage these days. But 1931, made in New York, New Art. This is a patina. Now, that's the bottom, the old felt on the bottom. Perfect condition. This one, I took the bottom off, but I got it. I wanted you to see the inside because I want you to look at that color of the metal on the inside as opposed to the out. Now, you'll see people will see these all the time. Some will say bronze bookends. Well, they are not bronze. That is a patina, which is sprayed on, fired on, baked on in the factory to make it look like a more expensive metal. There would be several castings. One might start at bronze. Then they move down to cold painted and patina and that kind of thing. But that is spelter. What happened to this? Somebody knocked it over, and one of the elephant's foot, just 1 foot, that 1 foot right there separated. Now you'll see that it didn't break the leg. It just separated itself slightly. I would go underneath, dab a little bit of epoxy under there. It'll be sealed forever. Put this back on, perfectly fine condition. If you want to go out to a craft shop and get some little paint, and that's the reason why this has flaked off there. I want to make sure you know that the elephant didn't break off and then get glued back on. He was never broken off. It's just that one little split where the pot metal was really thin around that 1 foot. That's the damage. Otherwise, wonderful. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I told you that so that you would understand what it might be bidding on, and nobody's bidding on them. So I'm going to go ahead and are there any questions? Is anyone asking anything?
I don't see any questions. They are beautiful, though. They look fantastic. Joe is suggesting JB Weld, which I'm not familiar with.
JB Weld is just one of those. You just go to one of your big box hardware stores. JB Weld is fine. There's different epoxies you can mix together. There's some that come together in one gun. It's just to stabilize that but we have no interest, and so there's the stop, and we move on. I'll move these aside, and we'll probably bring them back to either a Two Chaps live sale, or maybe they'll go in the eBay store. I haven't decided yet. So are you ready, Patrick?
I am.
Let's get you. There you is.
I'm doing a quick verification, because when I suddenly went to hold this up to start this, I realized, oh, this is not square. It is slightly rectangular, so I had to remeasure it. This is a $15 start for this absolutely gorgeous crocheted table topper. It is 42 inches by 36 inches. So it's not quite square. I initially thought it was. Absolutely beautiful condition. I actually washed this. And so I don't remember if this one actually, there was a ton that I got at the slate sale. Some had several severe staining to it. This one, I can't remember if it started with any stains, but they are not on here now. Goodwill got a very big donation of some that the stains didn't come out of. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not dealing with these. And I pushed them on to let somebody else enjoy the process. But this one is all of the crochet work is still in fantastic condition. There's no splits, there's no tears, again, no discoloration. It's got a great scalloped edge going along all 4 of the sides. And it's just a great open cut work. And what I like about these smaller, oh, thank you, Judy. I'm not familiar with the different patterns. And Christina, that is an excellent question. This could be, I would say this is probably more of a mid-century 50s, 60s piece. I don't think it's getting into anything older than that, because I do believe this is machine made. but there's no tags. There's nothing on here to verify that. So it's just a guess based on some of the ones that I've done. It's a little bit heavier than some of the older pieces that I've had that I would assume were older. But it's in fantastic condition. What's nice about these smaller sizes, if you've got a bigger table, you could put a really nice bright colored cloth under this, and then you put this over the top, and you've kind of got a 2-for-1 deal. You've got this beautiful design to go under your centerpiece, to go underneath your decor. Whether it's a side table, a dinner table, or anything. And again, 42 by 36. So this was a $15 start. Again, I'm trying to go through a lot here, so I want to make sure we don't waste time. It is
what?
It sounds like Philip is definitely more knowledgeable about this than I am. I am calling this crochet, but again, based on the lack of knots tying it off and the consistency, I did assume it was machine done, but he's saying that there is no machine that can crochet. So maybe it's either not crochet or it was done by hand and somebody just spent a heck of a lot of time doing it. So again, it's $15. I don't see anybody starting off the bid, so I'm just going to close it off. If Scott wants to put a stop in the chat and jump over to offer what he is going to sell.
Okay, next I have got, that was nice. Patrick, I don't know what it is, but everybody seems to love. Well, I do know why. This is a big one. $19 on the stairway to stardom. Oh my goodness. Now I know, because my grandparents had one too, and I would jump on the sofa when my grandmother was in the kitchen, and I would move the things all around on the steps and put them in different spots to annoy her. Although she never got annoyed at anything. Not that grandmother. The other grandmother wouldn't have had this in her house, but my one grandmother would have, and did. It's a big one. Oh, 20 inches. I don't know. How many of you made these in high school shop? You know you did. Somebody is asking about the tin tray. We have moved. That's sold. So that's you're way behind. Pam or Pat, if you'll hit refresh, Pat is bidding on an item from like 20 minutes ago. Just hit refresh, Pat. You've come in late, but that's okay. We want to get you caught up. So there it is. What is it made of? I don't know. Douglas fir. It's all there. It's got 2 little hooks to hang it. Did you have one of these in your childhood memories, Patrick?
I do not. I do recognize them, and no, we did not have anything that lovely in our home.
I don't know who came up with this, but I know in the 30s, it was popular at country fairs and things to have photographs taken of you sitting in a half moon. Like that would be.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who started this, but it was a big deal. Look at all the dust. This is a nice one. Look at that newel post. Little extra detail there, and you get dust. It's gray on the back. Nice entry level high school sort of. I don't even know if these were made and sold commercially. This just may be something that people made out of Popular Mechanics magazine in 1948. I just don't know. But my grandparents had one in the 50s, and it was still on the wall in the early 70s when I was a little annoying.
It was the 40s version of the wood shop project. Instead of the key holder that you put on the wall, you made the little tchotchke holder. It looked like a moon.
Oh, no, I love it. I'm not seeing. Can you tell me where we are, Patrick?
I'm a little confused, to be perfectly honest. I think KP was just offering your start price. I don't think she was bidding. Because did you start it at $19? What was your starting price? I don't see a starting price for you. And then Pat has come in once for the tray, but then she also came in with something else and saying 21, and I'm not sure what that's bidding on.
Okay, so I just need everybody to be specific on that. The starting, well, I don't know. Okay. Hold on for a second. Hold on for 1 second.
Okay, so KP was just reiterating that you started it at 19.
Okay.
So since you hadn't typed it in, she was typing in. She was not bidding on it.
Okay. So we have no bids for this right now, I don't think anyway. So it's that we're looking for an opening bid of $19.
Oh, I'm sorry. KP did bid. So she did start. She was bidding at your opening bid. She was bidding at $19.
She did.
My apologies, KP. I was confused by that.
Okay. So KP does have a bid. Now the other person that's bidding at 21, I don't know what that is or what.
That was right after the comment about the tin tray. So if they had been that far behind, they wouldn't even heard your comment to refresh. So I don't know.
I don't know, but it's we're gonna keep going. So $19 is the opening bid on the this. And before I count it down, if you are sitting around this week staring at the dust on your picture frames, go to your computer and go to YouTube and look up Stairway to Stardom. You will have hours of enjoyment. That's all I'm going to tell you. Do you know what it is?
I'm intrigued. No, I'm not familiar with it.
Anybody in the chat who knows what it is, you can chat about it for a minute. It's this awful, well, I am going to tell you, like public access television show from like Long Island. Well, it might have been filmed in Manhattan. And it was around 1980, and it is the worst and the best thing you'll ever see. Stairway to Stardom. You'll have hours of entertainment. Counting this down.
Marilyn Rutledge brought you up to 20.
KP knows what Stairway to Stardom. KP, were you on it? I bet KP was on it. I bet she drove up here and was on Stairway to Stardom back in 1970. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Scott, you counted it down too fast. No, I didn't. You had plenty of time. I've been talking.
Yes, exactly.
I've been talking about it for 20 minutes.
We got 28 minutes left. We got to crank through a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so hold on. Let me get my winner for the Stairway to. I call that the Stairway to Stardom show.
What'd you stop in? You just had another bid.
All right. Well, who?
So Marilyn went to 20. I've got KP to 21. I'm watching for your stop.
It's in. Oh, you're looking
for
Stairway to Stardom. In the meantime, we'll bring Patrick back. And the moon. Is KP getting it for 21?
Yes. KP got it for 21.
KP, that is not your style. I want to know what you're going to do with that and where you're going to hang it. That does not fit your aesthetic. What are you going? You're going to put it in your bathroom. I know it. Patrick, it's your turn.
All right. I've got a $10 start, and you're getting 2 items for the $10. So the first one, and I'm going to do the best I can to show these off. So the first one, they're both playhouses.
Ooh.
And so the first one is this little. I can't remember if there was a date on this one. So I'll look at the bottom in a second. This little 3-dimensional playhouse. You've got the printed imagery of, I don't know if that's supposed to be the dining room. You've got a nursery. You've got, I don't know, everyone needs a circus room. And the whole thing collapses. So it'll be easy to ship to this. And so then what you see is Instant Playhouse. So this is, it goes the other way. So this is Instant Playhouse with instant furniture. Now the furniture is no longer included in this. Fold flat to store away in closet or drawer. Flip open to play. And it does have something on the back side. Marlborough, Massachusetts, for all 4-inch miniature dolls, Winthrop Atkins Company, such as Pee-wee, Itsy Bitsy, Trolls, Little Kittles, Tiny Tot, etc. So it does not have a year on this. There's no zip code to the address, but this kind of in a way you don't necessarily know if there would have been an address to it. I'm thinking that this is probably 60s. Just the type of imagery that's on here. Maybe 50s, but I'm thinking 60s. So you get this. You got the Instant Playhouse And the logo, I'm not familiar with the company, Winthrop Toy trademark. You get that one. And this one's a little bit harder. Another Playhouse, which is more of a cardboard design. And it's got a collapsing front porch. So we'll do it in two pieces. So you can see the front porch design. It actually has a little roof that goes over it, kind of like maybe a Spanish revival style, kind of an adobe, like maybe there should be adobe brick on there. Or I guess more Tudor because it's got the beams with the gable windows on there. Yeah. But it's got the clay tile roof house, and then underneath it, it sits on this little, again, it's just like cardboard. It just sits on this, goes underneath the overhang. So trying to show it all, kind of goes like this. Couple issues because of the cardboard. You can see there's little tabs that are supposed to slide into the roof. A couple of them are crushed down, so it's a little bit harder. And I didn't want to force them to try and put it together because I'd have to take them apart to be able to ship it. But once it's all taken apart, it again folds completely flat like this. So for storage, and then more importantly, for me to be able to ship it. So you get both of these Playhouses. The branded Instant Playhouse from Winthrop for the 4-inch toys, the little kittles. And then this one doesn't really have any logos or anything on there. Size-wise, it'd be a little bit taller. The front door is 3 inches tall, which makes it seem like it'd be too small for 4 inches, but there's a lot more room inside. So you get the cardboard one with the green and the red imagery, and then the multicolor. But I do not see anybody opening up with a bid on this, so I will ask Scott to put a stop in, and we shall move on to Scott's next item.
Okay, the stop is in. My next items begin at $15. And I've got for you 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 animals. Now, I believe these to be celluloid. So don't strike a match around them or they'll go poof. And they are old. We have an elephant. These are very, very light and they're hollow. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? So it's I'm Patrick, aren't you thinking celluloid? I think that a lot of toys and things like this were celluloid. It's almost eggshell thin. They are marked. The marks are so small, I can't read them. I know that these are about at least 100 years old. I'm certain that they must go back to the 20s. And we have an elephant. A buffalo or bison. I guess there's a difference. We have lions or a lion. We have a tiger and a bear. Don't say it. Well, you can say it.
Is it a tiger or is it a lioness?
Well,
is it a tiger or is it a female lion?
I didn't look that closely at her. So
the reason I asked is because they're so old. Back then, there were a lot of rules guidelines about children couldn't play on Sundays. So the most popular toy from that time, as you know, are the Noah's Ark collections. Right. And so if they're pairs of animals, the female and the male lion together, it could indicate it is from a Noah's Ark set.
It could be from a Noah's Ark set. Absolutely. It could be from
a zoo set. I don't know if a bison would be in a zoo set, but you know, they're very cool.
Yeah, there were little sets like that. Now, they're excellent. One of them, these were made in a mold, and they were 2 parts. One of them, one leg is coming unglued, and you can just glue it back. But it's only one of the animals. It's the bear. So it looks like his leg is split. That's the mold line. Again, put a little glue in there, and that will just disappear right into the. If you can see, it's a 2-part mold the way these were made. And the details are wonderful. The colors are so pretty and original, and I just love these little guys. Back in the Day Finds has the opening bid of 15. Oh, 15. I'll show you again that there is the buffalo. Seeing? A bear. An elephant. A lion. I'm sorry, a tiger. And he can be what you want him to be. You can be anything that you want to be. Relax, breathe free. What is it? No, never mind. My mind went somewhere that it should, never mind. Anybody interested? $15?
You had Back in the Day Finds started you at 15.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, move out the way, behave yourselves over there. And, there we go. Okay, in goes the stop, and Back in the Day gets it for $15. And I thank you so much. Back in the Day. And I do know your names, your first names. I'm just very cognizant of, I use the name that you present, right? So I may know more about your name, but I don't put that out there because you don't put that, right? Do you understand? You know what I'm saying, Patrick?
I do. You are more careful than I guess I am, because I called them by name earlier. So oops.
Oh, I'm not pointing you out. I said that because I don't want Robert and Lori to think I don't know their names. I do know your names, but you present yourselves as either Back in the Day Finds, or maybe the other one was Lori Perry, but I don't remember. Anyway, I just use your names that I see on the screen. I just wanted to tell you that. I'm sure it doesn't make a difference.
Oh, okay. We got, let's see, 18 minutes left. So we'll see what we can get through in the next. So the next one I've got is a $10 start. And I have 2 pieces of hand-done needlework. And there is no question these are hand-done once you look at the back. So you get the 2 of these for $10. They are both 24 inches long. This one is a 3-inch side-to-side pattern. You can see it's kind of done in a simple cross-stitch X design, but it is not like a counted cross-stitch fabric. It is actually done on a regular piece of linen. So it is that kind of X work design, a little bit more open, and it is 3 inches from border of the edge of the design to the other edge of the design, not the cloth. The cloth makes it a little bit wider because it would have been stitched to then be, there's this extra room to be able to create a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch seam allowance to then sew it as the bottom of a window curtain, of a towel, of something that they designed to be 2 feet. So you've got this one, which has some beautiful red, blue, kind of an aqua color, yellow, and maybe black in the middle. A little bit more open where more fabric is shown. That one is 24 inches long and 3 inches wide. And then this trim piece is also 24 inches wide or 20 inches long. But you can see how much more detail got put into this one. Almost like a poinsettia design, just a 8-petaled flower, but it has a purple center. So I don't think they are actual poinsettias. Kind of almost like a quilt block pattern. A lot more stitching went into this one, and it is a little bit wider. This is 4 1/4 inches wide to the widest part, and then the fabric adds another inch on each side. So this one, you could even see on this one, they didn't do a great job cutting. They cut it with scissors. So it's a little bit it's not really straight, because what you would have done is you would have then measured from the edge of the pattern to the next piece of fabric you sewed it into. And so you would have a very nice straight edge. So trim pieces, a waistband of a dress, stitched onto the front, the decorative of a belt, anything that you could do with them. So they were stitched separately. So you get both of them. Again, $10 start, 24 inches long, 3 inches wide, 4 1/4 inches wide. I am not seeing any starting bids, so I will ask Scott to put in a stop and jump to Scott's next item.
All right, the next item that I've got are 4 puzzles. And they would date between 1935 to 1945. I'm going to show you the 4 of them in order of my favorite. And $15 is where we start. No. Yes, it is. Sorry about that. There's a lot going on. By the way, we have 240 people here and we've got 136 thumbs up. If you're able to give a thumb up, or I'd love that. Now these are in plastic. Someone, did this. I can't take them. Well, I could take them out, but I'm not going to. They are puzzles. This one is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and these are made by Walzer, W-A-L-Z-E-R. See there at the top? So you could collect all these you want. They're on cardboard. And of course, they're all there. So you get, I'm sorry, that's upside down. There's the alphabet.
It is a tray style, right? So the border is all solid and the pieces fall into the tray?
That's correct. So
Okay.
Here's the, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very popular with kids.
Jack and Jill. Jill has a weird looking, I don't know what's going on with that hairdo there, but you can see they're in wonderful condition. You can see if I bend on them, how they'll sort of pop up there. See?
Nice and thick.
The jinx. Oh, they're very thick. Jack and Jill. And then
KP's got you started at 15.
Then we have a baby. The kitten is trying to get at the bowl of milk. I don't know who Skippy is. It almost appears as though the baby is trying to wash out the dog's mouth with a bar of soap. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I'm hoping it's a biscuit.
Oh. Well, they're both smiling, so I guess everybody's eating. Little Skippy the kitten has her milk or whatever. And then the last one is my favorite. I love this one. So mother is rushing home with the groceries. The children, the school guard says slow crossing. And mother, it can't handle the bags. And onto the ground goes apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. And the dog and the children are trying to pick everything up. So what? Late 30s, early 40s. And this one also is Walzer. These are all numbered. This one is Walzer number 1, looks like 100. Printed down there. And that just says Walzer. That doesn't have a number on it. But
Evelyn bumps it up to $18.
Charlotte Becker is given credit for the artist, the illustrator on this one. So there they are.
Great price for all 4 of those.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Love the alphabet one.
Jack and Jill went up a hill or down a hill. I think they went down it, didn't they?
They did both. They went up and then they fell down.
Well, I guess so. Maybe I'm just over the hill. I don't know. Baby trying
KP brought you up to 19.
Washing the puppy's mouth out with soap or giving it a biscuit. Kitten at the bowl of milk. And mother has tossed her groceries all over the sidewalk. What would father say? Count them down.
Evelyn's got you up to 20.
Okay, 10, 9. Wouldn't these be great to even frame? I don't know.
Absolutely.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I will wait for the stop. And then I have one more item and then my two reruns.
Okay, KP took you 23. I'm watching for the stop. Patsy brought you up to 30.
It's in.
And there it is. I don't gotta refresh.
Patsy McCarthy, are you kidding? Are you actually on Stairway to Stardom? You sent in your tape, but did they actually call you in to Manhattan to actually be on the show? You better tell me. Are you the one
Okay.
that's a hairdresser?
I refreshed and it looks like KP snuck in and got it at 31.
She got both. KP got the puzzles.
Yep.
All right, KP, thank you. The other things are coming to you as well. Yes, you're getting 3 boxes. You wrote to me, and I just don't. The three items that you bought can't go in one box. They need to go in 3 separate boxes. It's porcelain and it's glass. So you're going to get those 3 boxes. I'm sure they won't get there till after Christmas, but I wanted you to let you know that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Patrick, sorry about that. Solo layout.
Nope, that's okay. All
Okay.
right, so I think this will be the last item I show, but I do want to reference because if anyone watched my preview,
Okay, wait a minute.
also
What am I? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, that was a gift for somebody. I'm sorry, Patrick. That doesn't affect you. I wanted to make sure I didn't get something wrong. I see in the chat now. I have to mail that to somebody else. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Nope, you're good. So I'm just going to reference if anyone had seen my preview. If you wanted the VeggieTales posters, the Life magazines, the enamel plate, or the military calendar or military World War II one, let me know and I can we can talk later, or I can sneak them in at the end. But the next one I'm going to offer, because again, clearing out my storage area, we got a $10 start, and it is a mixture of scrapbook pages, and it is kind of a mixture, but there's some awesome stuff in here. So the first is this little envelope that contains its own pages of a scrapbook from 1852. So 1852, they took articles from Sartain's magazine, which I am not familiar with, but it is out of Philadelphia. So maybe Scott is familiar with it.
No.
I've never come across this. Sartain's magazine. They've got a musical article, the musical department. They've taken the articles, they've backed them with scrapbook paper. But this is, Philadelphia, January 1852. But you can see they used old tape. And so the tape has started to age. Monthly summary of foreign literature. It seemed to be some sort of, cultural magazine. Inside, if you'll see it, there's some cool illustrations in here, but they weren't keeping the illustrations. They were keeping the articles. So if you wanted to go through, use the undo and separate, you might be able to salvage some of the illustrations. The mastheads is beautiful. So this is just like a weird little set of editorial pages, some portraiture, all from the 1800s. So you got that. Then you also have a page of pictorial military postcards, or some of them are military. Hartford, Olympia, the Old Market, South Battery, showing Villa Margarita. But you've got boys of the U.S. Navy while at Santiago, drink Hatui beer, greetings from Bacardi. So you got little military advertisement there. You've got a Panama City Hotel brochure, a Sigma Delta 1928 snowball dance card. West End team names Hunnikin. But then you also, hello Navy, welcome to the Canal Zone, January 28th, 1929. So it's an old brochure from the Panama Canal, specifically for Navy personnel coming through with instructions and things for the area. All of these, again, are glued into a scrapbook, but get some undo or use some of the techniques that are out there. You'll be able to separate these, and you've got this great military device or military ephemera. We also have a 1928 New Year's Eve program from the Hotel Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. It is a menu. So you've got an old menu. I bought this specifically to go with all the menus on my eBay. I just haven't had a chance to separate all of these. You have a letter from the USS Whitney. So again, you've got another military item in here. And then you've got a separate sheet of French gold Victorian trade cards. So you've got soapine. The French gold is that gold metallic ink that goes onto these, making them very collectible. If I actually separated these, I could sell them individually, usually for $5 to $10 each, but don't have the time to do that. So I'm trying again, making a good deal. And yes, I can show the military item really quick. And I said calendar, it's not, it's more of a poster. So that I can talk about that. So I don't see any grabs on the scrapbook stack. So I will let it go stop it. If Scott can stop and go back to his last item. And then I'll just, instead of reviewing my old stuff, I'll show the stuff that I had not shown yet.
Okay, solo layout. Now, the last thing that I've got, and then I'll come back to the sewing machine and the bookends. In case you came in late, if you were saw the preview today, but came into the sale late, the only thing I have not sold is the sewing machine and the elephant bookends. So if you're hanging around and waiting for them, I'll bring them back last minute. But the last unseen item that I've got for you tonight is for the man or the woman that has everything. But back in the 50s, they would have said for the man, you know, who has everything. You know what that is. $12. How many times did we see on old sitcoms? And it's so 50s. The box, I just love it. So it's all there. I just look at the graphics. This is so funny because they're sitting around in cocktail. They're drinking cocktails, right, at somebody's house. Don't you love that? See how much fun it is for all? Then father is teaching child. And over here we've got the sailors. Oops, what's that one? And the children are playing. Well, what is it? There it is. What do you get? You get the box. You get the... Patrick.
What? I'm trying to unfold this gigantic thing that I want to offer next.
We can hear you. No, keep going. It's all right. They're going to say, "What is that noise?" It's Patrick.
Sorry.
No, unfold your whatever you're unfolding. Here's the instruction sheet, which is, I love it. Yeah, and I don't think it was hardly ever used. I plugged it in and played with it for a while, although I don't have a golf stick. What do you call it? Golf stick, golf club, whatever. So, but I know the difference between a bass clarinet and anyway. So anyway, plug it in, put it on the floor. If you can get the ball in there, you wait like 5 seconds and it shoots it right back to you again, and it works. I've tried it right here on this living room floor. It's very quiet. It doesn't make a lot of noise. Such a classic thing from the 50s and the 60s. And there it is. Vera K has started us out with a bit of 20, and we're going to wait just a second to make sure that everybody, in case there are any questions, I'll put this back into the box. I just love it. And you will too, even if you're, I guess, even if you're not a golf pro, you might enjoy playing with that. Okay, I can't really get that back into the box at the moment, so I won't fit. You get the ball as well. That might even be, of course, I don't know how old that is. Cozy Shack. Isn't that Cozy Shack? Don't they make rice pudding?
Cozy Shack?
Yeah.
I don't think I've recognized that one.
Isn't there a brand of rice pudding called Cozy Shack? Yes, there is. Hopefully they don't also make golf balls.
Yeah.
Caddy Shake? No, it's Cozy Shake. It's not. It's Cozy Shack, not Caddy Shake. See? Cozy? Never mind. But they do make rice pudding called, there's a 10, 9, 8. I'm not going down that rabbit hole on Christmas Eve. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I know there's rice pudding called Cozy Shack because my...
No, KP says, she says Cozy Shake rice pudding.
Oh, it's the pudding is shake, Cozy Shake. Well, this is Cozy Shack, but the pudding is Cozy Shake, spelled with a K. let's put the stop in there, and we'll let we'll get off of that. All right, what have we got here? We've got, let's make sure we didn't outbid ourselves. Does Vera have it at 30? I think so.
Yes.
So Vera, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I've got your info. Will you send it to me tonight? I'm probably going to do my Vera K6. I'm probably going to do the invoices tonight. And Vera K6, I don't know if I know you. So will you kindly send me your email tonight? I'm going to work on those invoices tonight. I need your full name, your mailing address. If you have a PayPal account, I need to know if you have a PayPal account or not. Make sure you tell me and give me the email address associated with your PayPal account. If you're missing any of that, just ask me. I'll watch the chat and make sure you're doing okay. But we'll bring Patrick back. Doggone it. There he is. Okay. Yep. Okay. So there you go, Patrick.
Okay. So the item that somebody was asking about, I misidentified it as a military calendar. This is a $10 start. And what this is a factual chart of World War II European operations. It had this gigantic envelope that it came in. The envelope itself has been split open. So just be aware of that. There's really no collectibility. It just kind of holds it all together. In it, you got a really attractive folder, the factual chart of World War II European operations with all of the logos of all of the military installations of the European theater from World War II. Inside that, this is kind of like a heavy, like card stock folder. And inside that, what you heard me do was unfolding this absolutely ginormous map. And so what you've got is a telling all the way up to the bottom right-hand corner, the surrender in May of 1945 in winning in Europe. There's a note. I want to make sure I do not tear or mess up the creases on this. There was this insert in this big envelope that included this little sheet that said, please reserve for me the same thing, but the Asia Pacific operations. And it's got some Japanese writing on it. So they made this one because Europe surrendered first. VE Day was earlier than VJ Day. And so they created this map. And it is copyrighted. I'm sorry, it's really loud. It says right on the big folder, it's copyrighted in 1945. So this took it into, again, the end. It gives all of the details. And again, some great information. You've got all the color images of all the different participants in the war, the shields, Lloyd George, Clemenceau, some of the names that we all know involved in the war from the different, and again, this is focusing on the European operations. This does not talk about Japan at all. So it's got a section on Italy, Germany, etc. So this was, it's really big. I will ship it flat. It folds up to fit in this little insert. And I will go ahead and include the envelope that originally shipped in. But again, just remember that the envelope has been ripped open. So that was the military calendar that I called it. It's not a calendar. It says on there, photos do not bend. It's not really photos. It's really a gigantic wall map, probably great for a school. But if you're a military collector, it's a unique item. And actually, when they were selling on eBay, they sell for quite a bit. Just again, trying to clear house and give people a good deal. And I think I saw a couple of bids come in. So yes, so I will go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Okay.
And I don't know if I've been.
No, it's fine. It buffered a little bit. I'm waiting another second here. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't sure if that was me or you.
It was.
Okay, and I see this stop. So
okay. It's back in the day. Fines at 21.
Excellent. So
Let's
that'll ship very nicely with your popcorn shipment for Back
Yeah.
of the Day finds.
Let's keep
Same
you
big
on the
flat,
screen.
big flat package.
We will keep you on the screen there, Patrick. Is there anything else new that you've got, or some reruns?
Somebody else had asked. They said they missed the preview, so they asked what I had for the Life magazines. This was the same person that stiffed me on that on the lacquer box. Also stiffed me on the order of these Life magazines. So it is a $12 start for 3 1948 issues of 1948 issues of Life magazine. So we've got April 12th, 1948, March 29th, 1948 with Elizabeth Taylor, and August 9th, 1948, Marlena Dietrich. So that's a $12 start. My battery's dying, so I need to plug in really quick. Look like Adam's starting things out at $12. I appreciate that. Ignore me while I quickly try and plug in. But yeah, so they're full issues. They're all in great condition. I'd already sealed one of them up to mail. They're thick, and they're the larger format. So you've got the Chesterfield ad on the back of that one, Camel ad in the back, because, you know, everyone loves their cigarette ads on the back. Carmen, bring it up to 15. I got to plug in really quick before I die and lose you guys. And I will start cutting it down while I'm plugging in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and watch for the stop.
Yeah.
3 issues from 1948.
There you are.
All right. Okay, I see the stop. Are you seeing
I see
Carmen?
Yeah. Carmen,
Right.
I will write to you, but I want to come have lunch with you and Kevin, sometime in January, because I'm going to deliver some items to Lisa and Jeff, and I'd also like to see you and Kevin and bring your items, Carmen.
You want to put yourself back on? You're carrying a conversation while I'm.
I suppose. I wasn't even looking. What were you doing? Were you just
like, why am I sitting here?
Oh, I don't know. I was multitasking. What I'm actually doing is saying, wait a minute, I'm doing a ham. Have I got cloves? Yes. I mean,
yep. We ran late and we're cutting into your prep time for your dinner.
Yes. And I'm sure everybody has a lot. Good. Okay. Vera, thank you. So I emailed you about the golf item I bought from you. Oh, you bought more than a year ago. I appreciate you should still be in there, but thank you for sending that again, Vera. I'll double check it. Now, the last thing.
And a quick note, I just wanted to do a quick note because I got an email from somebody that we do need to know if your YouTube name is different than what you're giving us in the email name. So like I now have an email of somebody's information that I don't know who it is. So quick note. So if you do send us contact information, make sure you connect the dots if it's not obvious to us.
Oh, yes. And Patrick, thank you for saying, because I say that all the time. Somebody is chatting. Well, I'll bring out my favorite Gloria Clapsaddle. And then when they write to us, you know, it's Mary Smith. And I'm like, well, Mary, I don't know who you are. And I can't. And so we don't know. Give us more information than you think we need. Think it through, because we probably don't. I won't speak for Patrick. I will probably not know who you are. Okay. I'm gonna chat for a while, but I want to tell you I've got 2 items that didn't sell. I'm not going to talk about them unless anybody wants me to talk about them. If you're interested, I'll show you quickly. Any interest in the 1894? Can you imagine a sewing machine electrified in 1894 when people weren't even in automobiles, really? I mean, unless you really had some cash. 1894. Any interest in that? Tell me and I'll talk about it. Any interest in the Elephant Art Deco bookends? You can ask me about them and I will start them rolling again as well. So I'll keep my eye on the chat. Patrick, what else did you have?
The only thing well, two things I didn't show were the enamel plate on copper, and the VeggieTales posters. So if
Which
there's any
ones?
specific, what's that?
I don't. No one is telling me in the chat that they want me to tell them about the sewing machine or the elephant bookends. So you want to go ahead and sell what you've got?
Well, quickly, the posters are a pain to show. So unless somebody is into VeggieTales, I got 6 posters that would start at $10, and they are
Okay.
all from 2000, 2001. They're like video store posters, so I can show them. But I can show this. This plate is Bruman, is a signed copper plate. I had it in my booth. I refreshed it for Christmas and took it out. I sold it in the booth for 35, or listed in 35. I'll sell it here for 25 as a starting. So $25. It is a enamel on copper plate that is signed by Bruman. So I actually learned about Bruman from George, the antique nomad. And so when I found this, I was super excited, but I do not need a seagull. I don't need another collection of enamel on copper. I already have a collection of enamel from Austria. I didn't need this one. So that's why I'm selling it. So this would be 25. And then the ones that I didn't sell were the coverlet, the playhouse, the trim pieces, and the scrapbook pieces. So if anyone wanted to see that, but I don't want to, it's already past the top of the hour. So I'm happy to let everyone start celebrating their holidays.
Okay. Yes, I don't see that anybody has requested to see anything else either. That means this sale is in the can. Thank you, everyone. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful. Okay, take a breath. Well, what do you want to tell everybody, Patrick?
I want to tell everyone thank you for supporting us throughout the year, whether you're brand new this time, or you've been joining us. A lot of names have been here for many months. I appreciate always. To Scott, I always appreciate, it's not a Thanksgiving episode, but I appreciate and give thanks to Scott for including me in these sales, and I have a lot of fun doing them, and appreciate you guys giving your time. And it's not about the sale, it's about the chat. You guys, we learn things from you guys. Hopefully you guys are learning stuff from us, and I have fun with these. I look forward to these. So I appreciate everyone who participated this evening, and I hope you all enjoy your holidays, whatever those holidays may be. Even if you don't celebrate anything, hey, enjoy having a day off, hopefully a day off from work.
And have a wonderful time in Chicago.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night.
Good luck cooking your ham.
Not going to be a problem. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we will see you. I have not yet decided. There is an extra Monday this month. Yeah, next Monday, a week from tonight. I'll do something. But that will be New Year's Eve. Yeah. So there may or may not be a sale for me. When is your next sale, Patrick?
So just as a kind of a heads up, Scott and I and David from Vintage Uprising, Texas, hopefully we'll be able to find a time sometime in January that we're going to do a scientific sale. So Dr. Raj will be joining us, and we will have some vintage items of some sort of scientific background, and we are going to amaze and inform everyone about, who knows, it might be some entomology things, because Dr. Raj is a medical entomologist, but he also knows all kinds of just scientific stuff. So it might be jewelry that's done in the shape of insects. It might be National Geographic issues. We've all got a mixture of things that we're just going to try and have fun with a weird themed sale, and we'll see what we get. So I have to pick a date for that. And I apologize publicly to Scott. On January 20th, I'm going to compete with Scott's timing, but there's a reason for it. I am going to have a show on my channel. I'm kicking off a book club, and it is the Gay History Book Club. And we are kicking off on the evening of inauguration. We are going to be discussing the book Bent by Martin Sherman and the movie that went along with it. And I picked January 20th because it is inauguration day. And I feel it's a good day to start kicking off a book club talking about LGBTQ issues. So Not getting in the soapbox, not trying to take anything away from Scott, but just FYI, on Monday, January 20th, will be a live book club discussion about Bent at 8 p.m. on my channel.
I'll have to catch that on the rerun then.
You will. Yeah.
I will have to catch that on the rerun then. Didn't read the book think I saw the movie years ago. That's years ago, is it not?
Yeah, the movies were 97. Mick Jagger played one of the characters. Clive Owen was the lead. Ian McKellen was in it. There are a couple bigger names, but it was a minor film because in 1997 there weren't a lot of LGBT movies being done. But it's about the persecution of homosexuals during World War II. So not going to be a lighthearted fare, but you know, we're gonna start I'm going to start a monthly book club. That happens to be the first book in the discussion.
Okay.
So thank you for letting me jump on my soapbox to talk about that.
This is equal time tonight, Patrick, for the both of us. So absolutely, that sounds fantastic. Well, that's it.
Excellent.
Good night, all.
Yeah, everyone have a great
Merry
holiday.
Christmas.
Enjoy the rest of the year, and
Merry
we'll see you.
Christmas,
I will see you
Christmas
hopefully
Eve.
next month.
Yes. Okay. And I'll be somewhere doing something somehow. So stay tuned. Merry Christmas, everyone. Good night.
Night, everybody.
And thank you.